Blasphemy.
Freebird. Coming to you now quite live from Pineda Studios. I'm Sascha Saintevic. With me is Briano Hawk. Briano, how are you doing today?
All right.
All right, everything good on your front?
Yeah.
I see a little bit of a
quite well.
Kurigami piece over here.
Yeah.
Did you put that on did you put that on display here first to show, or did you just forget to move it?
I forgot to move it. It's supposed to be the Sydney Opera House, but whatever. It's not the greatest part, but it's not bad.
It's
for
not bad,
first attempt.
I thought it looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Put it at an angle. I think you'll be able to take screenshots of it, send it around the interwebs, have people admire it.
Yeah.
Pay for it. Try to make a buck off of that.
Yeah. I mean, eventually I'll start putting stuff on Etsy or whatever. Whatever craft site there is that people whore themselves out on.
I think it's just the internet itself.
Oh, okay then.
That does that, yeah. Enough about you and your talented crafts.
Whatever.
Let's get to the music.
Yeah, the music.
The state of the music industry. Too broad of a topic for me to talk about.
Yeah.
I was actually...
I think our topic should be symphonic rock.
Symphonic rock. You have
or
a long,
metal.
You have a long list. Metal?
Yeah, symphonic metal.
It could be metal specific.
Nah. I just happened to look over and I saw symphonic metal. So it's like symphonic rock or metal.
Who did they have under that?
Nightwish. Or Nightwish, sorry.
Nightwish?
Wish.
Nightwish would actually make a pretty good band name.
I think there is Nightwish, but this is Nightwish.
Probably. It's all the good band names are taken.
Yeah.
What was it when you were coming up with your band name? How long did it take you guys to come up with something? Did it end up being like it usually does, like 3 to 5 guys just going around disagreeing on everything?
No, it was actually quite easy to come up with the thing since I've been coming up with band names forever. That names I thought would sound pretty cool as bands. Mm-hmm. I just kind of said this is the name of the band, and anyone disagree? And everyone's like, no, I like it. I was like, all right, we're good. Simple as that.
I guess sometimes one person sort of takes charge if they have an idea. That it gets annoying when you get like the too many domineering personalities into a group.
But I mean, usually, you'll throw around a bunch of dumb sounding stuff or whatever. And it just sounds dumb, but you have no idea what the band is called.
The Exits.
The Exits. Yeah, Boy Meets World. Yeah. But no, I mean, it's just, a lot of times you don't have really a band name. You're just kind of playing, you're doing things like, yeah, we'll call ourselves the Left-Toed Wombats. And, I was like, okay. Well, I don't like that one. I want to be the, Right-Toed Wombats. Something stupid or whatever. And then you end up with Slipknot.
It needs to be something that's clever at first, and then it gets less clever the more you hear it. Like the B-Shops. But, so it's pretty much, when I was trying to get a band going, it was like, yeah, we call it I like the Psycho Siths, like a Sith. Like to growth, not like, Star Wars Sith Lords, Psycho Siths. Do you think,
yeah.
Are there band names out there that you think are just absolutely stupid to the point where it's detrimental to the band? Like, do you think somebody can come with a band name that's so dumb?
There are tons of them. I mean, Backstreet Boys, Metallica.
I don't think
Guns N' Roses.
Well, hold on, Metallica. Go back to Metallica. Go back to
Warrant.
Metallica. Well, hold on a second.
No, those are just bad bands.
So talk for a second. I actually don't think Metallica is a bad band name.
I think it is.
I think the band isn't good.
Metal Liquor, come on.
Metal Liquor. But it's a good brand of a name to sell if that's the kind of music you do, though.
Yeah, it was a decent name when, Lars Ulrich stole it from the other guy,
Stole it. Well, Lars... What was it, working like at a music shop or something, and the manager was gonna get a newsletter or magazine going, and that's the name he suggested. And Lars was like, he quickly suggested another name, and he stole that name for his band.
Yeah, little thief, and he sits there and complains people take his music from.
It's our music, man. You can't take my music. He
started off as a stealer.
Oh, Lars, we could probably do a whole podcast where we just bitch about Metallica.
Oh yeah,
it wouldn't be hard.
I think we have already.
No, we always sort of tangentially throw them in, and just to get people riled up about it.
But is there something specific you dislike about Metallica?
Their faces. No, I don't. I just don't like them.
About the music, like
I don't think they're a good band. I don't think they can play well. They're not good. They suck. I can't put it more than that. I don't like them. I mean, they're all assholes. Lars Ulrich is one of the biggest ones. James Hetfield was. He's the biggest douchebag I've heard of.
But lots of people are douchebags that you still enjoy the music.
No, they're just bad.
Prince
they don't make good music. And I will state that over and over. I have stated that over and over. Metallica doesn't make good music ever.
It's a strange thing where they're usually one of the first heavy metal bands that the layman will name, but people who are really into the genre, they usually don't put them up that high, high on the list. Like people who are really deep into it, they'll start listening bands the average person has never even heard of.
Yeah, like the Exits.
Yeah, the Exits, man, they're a legend. They really had them. People were there, they were screaming Exits, Exits. It wasn't just because they were looking for a way out. I always wanted to start a band called Satan's Penis.
I think you already had that band.
I really was trying to get that going in high school. I was like, our hit song, 50 Inches Long.
Yeah,
could have made it big.
I think you already had that song out there. That's what you did your 7-month tour with. Satan's Penis, and
7 months.
Your biggest song was 50 Inches Long. Yeah,
it's so elusive and undergone a meta that you can't even find it anywhere.
Yeah.
Your little dog is walking around all over the place.
Yeah, no, he's trying to get attention from you. His owner.
Yeah, I see him staring me down, mad dogging me.
Don't worry, Bubba. Anyways, but yeah.
Anyway, back to it. No, here's the thing. Something interesting about what you said about Metallica. You said, like, well, they're assholes. But lots of musicians that you like are assholes.
Yeah.
Prince wasn't an easy guy to deal with, by all accounts. He wasn't a pleasant person to a lot of. Now I know you're gonna then list. Well, you don't know. He did this guy, helped that guy, named this person. A lot of people who worked with him say he was difficult. He person. Yeah, he wasn't the nicest guy. Personality was.
That's the thing is, I mean, I can't say he was a nice guy or not because I never met him, but he was known as a difficult person to work with because he is a true passion in music.
But yeah, but Metallica fans might say like the same thing about that.
No, the thing is, Prince would like write songs for other people, and the songs he wrote for the people were hit songs. The Nothing Compares. Sinead O'Connor sung Prince song. Jane Osbourne's whatever song she sung was a Prince song. If God Was One of Us.
I hate that song.
That was a Prince song.
Such a shitty song.
There's other things. It's not like he would like, you can't do my songs. No, he wrote it. They covered it. They did stuff like that.
Unless you're Weird Al.
Unless you're Weird Al, but that's a whole different thing. Because Prince didn't believe his music should be made fun of. That's the one thing. He was a very stubborn musician and is true to his art. He wanted to just have his art done in that sense. He took it serious. He didn't think it was a joke. He didn't think it would be funny to have anything done like that. I'm assuming that's why he didn't like Weird Al, from what I've been told and hearing. It's just Weird Al's a musician. I'd give credit to Weird Al, although I didn't like him for the longest time. Because of the fact that I had the same stance as Prince. Is like, well, the music should be taken serious, not made fun of, and don't take a song someone's worked, hours upon hours on to put all their heart and soul into, try to get it out there and heard and did everything, and then you turn around and make fun of it or make a song, parody song of it, and it's just making fun of that song in a sense. But eventually he won me over with some other songs. I'm like, okay, fine.
Right, there's a line though, I guess a fine line in which you can take yourself too seriously.
Yeah.
In some aspects where it starts to encourage you to things where people start getting a negative opinion of you because of it. But I think there is something to be said about musicians do often get very self-righteous. But it's not just musicians. I think artist types in general often get like, it's my art, man. You gotta take this seriously. You know, when a lot of people who are not involved in your art or don't take it as personal or not as involved in it, it's just not as much of a part of your life, would say your art isn't detrimental for human survival in any way. It might be you personally really important. Society itself, humanity as a whole, will survive without it.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it seems like, especially like musicians, especially once they get really big and then like the star kind of fades. And I'm not talking about anyone in particular, it's just generalization, just like when we had like the whole thing about musicians tend to have a self-destructive behavior. They also tend to have a self-righteous behavior a lot of times too, in the attitude. Like a lot of them like really in their own minds seem to elevate what they do to the point where they lose track of the fact that what they're doing is supposed to be enjoyable.
Yeah.
And it, like ultimately it's supposed to be enjoyable for themselves. I mean, I know it's a job, but you know, still, you're doing a job that's tremendously more fun than what a lot of people do. You're doing something that's you voluntarily went into, as opposed to someone who got stuck in, you know, being a cashier.
Yeah.
In an entry level position. So, but they forget about that part, and it gets to the point where their behavior sort of seems to be more in line with somebody who's been trapped into this, and now they're all like, no, we got to take this seriously. We got to take this. I don't know. It seems to take away the whole aspect of it, where a lot of people are really envious of the position that you're in, and you're sort of treating it like you're stuck in this dissonance.
See, the thing is, a lot of times people don't see musicians as someone with a job. They don't see them as working. The thing is, they are working. If you're entertaining somebody and that's what you're making your money from, you're working, you know. And so I do get why some of the, you know, some musicians seem a little pompous or a little whiny when they complain about, you know, someone taking their song, or, you know, don't want Weird Al doing their song, stuff like that, because they want to be seen as a serious musician, or, you know, whatever. And so people saying, oh, well, musicians, they got it easy. They don't do anything. I was like, no, they don't. They actually have it quite hard, because they have to, one, be creative, which is natural for them, but they have to write everything and entertain you, because that's their job, is to entertain you as the listener. You know, if you don't like their song, you thrash them, you know, whatever, like I do with Metallica. I don't think any of their songs are good. I don't think they're good people. I don't think they're good musicians. Some people do. But still, I think they suck, and I'm not going to change that. You know, they suck. That's it. But yes, I know they probably have stole all their songs from someone else. Yes, I said it. They stole all their ideas because they stole their name. But, you know, but that's Metallica. They're not musicians. But anyways,
Zing.
You know, but anyways,
Cold. You
going on to
you got some burn ointment for that sick burn.
but anyways, going on to a thing, like I was saying, you know, musicians don't really have it easy in that sense, because of the fact that they are doing their job, working their ass off to come up with some sort of song, some, you know, creative method of, you know, whatever to get you entertained, to, you know, show up to their concerts, buy their stuff, talk about them, you know, stuff like that. So, you know, people who say, oh, well, musicians have it easy, they don't have to do anything. It's like, actually, they have to probably work more than the average person, like the cashier, because of the fact that they're working their ass off doing whatever they're doing, going through all their turmoils and whatever to write something and do something to entertain, as the cashier just sits and complains and hear other people complain, and then they just ring out your, you know, burger.
Well, let's be very careful about what it is, though, what point I actually brought up. I didn't say that the jobs were easy or that they don't work.
No.
I was very. I know. Some people might say that, but I was very specific in saying that the job, a lot of it is hard work, and you have to, you know, constantly produce content to keep you on top and ahead of the game.
Yeah.
And it can be tiring, and you know, especially like creatively, it can be draining.
Yeah.
What I said though is like they still do a job that, for the most part, the majority of people who enter the music field or any sort of artistic field, they do so because they have a passion for it. So they're pursuing it.
Yes.
And when, like, I don't know anyone who would disagree with saying that when you're doing something that you're passionate about, the number of hours you put in isn't really what you concentrate on. As opposed to if you're doing something you're not passionate about, even working it part-time is just soul-crushing to you.
Yes.
So like the musician will work, the one, that really wants to put themselves out there, any artist wants to put themselves out there, all the work to do, they will go above and beyond for it willingly. They will do anything that they can for it, simply because they are pursuing what they love, and they're doing it voluntarily, and they're doing a job that many people will love to do, and it is a job. Let's not call it anything else.
Yeah.
It's as much a job as anything else.
Yeah.
The part where we would contrast with a lot of other jobs, your average 9-to-5 job, is that the guy in a 9-to-5 job probably had to find contentment in a 9-to-5 job. He was stuck there.
Yeah,
he couldn't. So that's the big difference.
The thing is, but the thing is, the person with the 9-to-5 job actually gets a break. Musicians, they don't really get a break.
You're misunderstanding what I'm saying. Is the musician is doing what he loves.
Yes, the thing is, yes, it may be something like you love. You like drawing. You like painting. Can you do that constantly for 24 hours a day, 365 days a year?
I don't love it enough to do that.
The thing is, you still like doing it. That's the
for myself. I don't want to make it.
It's the same
life.
thing.
I don't want to make it a
but it's the same thing as musicians. Some of them who got big, they didn't do it and I'm going to get big. No, I just want to put my music out there. I just want to do something to entertain myself, let my creative juices flow, and then they actually really good at what's happening, so they get signed and stuff. And they're like, okay, cool. I get to have fun doing what I love and get paid for it. Awesome. And then when they go into the actual music business and see how much pressure they have, it's not an enjoyable thing for them much. I've had, interviews with people. I've talked to musicians who've been through that, because I've had teachers who were, musicians and touring, and they're actually big at one point. And they said at times it was not a fun thing. They didn't want to do it anymore. That's why they got out of it. After they got out of it, the passion came back, and they started slowly just doing stuff. But they're like, no, I don't want to get to that, having to deal with, contracts and people and tour managers and all this other crap, because it is stressful. It's not worth it. It's not something I signed up to do.
So you're saying that.
And so that's the thing, is those people who are like cashiers or whatever, they have their break, 9-to-5 thing, whatever. Once they're off, they go home, they can de-stress, they can complain, they do all they want, but they could always change their job and try it again. The musicians, they can try to change their job. They can quit. The thing is, if you quit, people are still hassling you if you're on the top. If you were up there being known and you're doing things like, "No, I'm done." It's like, "Oh, why are you quitting?" People interviewing, so on and so forth. People trying to get photos with you, because once you're known, once you're famous, no matter what, you're famous. You're gonna get seen on the street. People are gonna bug you. If you don't want to be part of that anymore, you're still gonna get bugged. You're saying, "No, I'm out of the music business." "Oh, well, why'd you do that? It was so great, and I was so inspired." And it was like, crap. So they have no break. Once you're in it and you're getting known, you're screwed. If it's not your 9-to-5 job, in a sense, is being a musician. If you're not big, then it's not your job, because you're not really getting paid for it. It's your side project. You're doing your 9-to-5 job. You're doing a show here and there, getting $100 a month, if even. It's not your job, because you're not getting sustained from it. Know what I mean?
But as far as that relates to some musicians who develop a self-righteous attitude about what they do, are you saying they're justified in having that self-righteous attitude?
I don't think they are justified about it, but I mean, I do understand sometimes.
You understand where it's coming from.
If you're working your ass off trying to do what you can to know that you have to do something to entertain the people, and if not, you're going to get called, posers or sellouts or whatever the hell you're going to be called, because people are assholes. It's a stressful thing to do.
Fandom is a fickle beast.
But like I said, I am a hypocrite by saying, Metallica sucks. But I think they do. I don't think they were ever good. The only reason why people, I think, thought they were a good thing is because they had to put up with hair metal. Metallica came out, changed that up a little bit. They had a different tune. They didn't do so much of the finger flying, screaming, looking like a girl, like Poison or Whitesnake or half of those other people. Motley Crue, there was a different thing. So it was like, oh, Metallica, yeah. Even when I first heard them, I thought, no,
Mark crap with crap. Come on, give me something decent. And then Metallica, and then Nirvana came along. He's like, oh, finally something I can listen to. And Pearl Jam, and all the '90s bands and grunge bands and stuff like that. Hell, I was so happy to hear Beastie Boys when they came on back in the '80s. And I don't like Beastie Boys that much. Mm-hmm. But I was like, oh, Beastie Boys, yes, something away from Metallica and hair bands. Awesome.
Yeah.
So I've never liked Metallica. It's not like, oh yeah, I was a Metallica fan. No, I'm not, because they're crappy and did the whole Napster thing. No, I hated them before Napster came out. I hated them,
It just gave you
when they came out. I've always hated them. I don't think they've ever been good. I never thought they were anything decent. They can't sing. They can't play. The greatest one in Metallica is the one who actually got out of Metallica, the bassist. I have nothing against him. The rest of the band, I don't like.
You're cool. Everybody else, you suck.
And the guy who transferred in, I think, is a dumbass. He transferred in from, Ozzy or something?
Yeah, I know.
The dude's a dumbass. I mean, yeah, he can play. I think he's a decent player. I think he's probably the only one in the band that can actually play. But it's just, I think you're a dumbass for going into it. But, that's my opinion. So, yes, I may sound like a hypocrite saying, oh, well, musicians have to work their ass off and do this and that and whatever. But I've never liked Metallica. So I'm not coming from a stance of I used to like them, then Napster came along and this was like, no, I've just never liked them.
Well, it's funny, in the procedure of finding objectivity, it becomes hard to state your own opinion sometimes, because you're entitled to not like a band.
Yeah.
That you don't like. For whatever stupid reason, just like you're entitled not to like a person for whatever stupid reason you can think of.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to like everybody. You have to tolerate the fact that other people exist. And the same thing like when it comes to music, I tolerate the fact that other musical tastes exist, and I tolerate the fact that genres exist that don't fit my interests or my liking. But I'm allowed to say, in my personal opinion, this band sucks. The problem is the fact that you always have to point out, well, it's my personal opinion. Yeah, of course it's my fucking opinion. Whose else's opinion is it going to be? Why do I always have to put that qualifier in? And somehow that makes it like, okay, guys, you acknowledge that it's just your opinion. Yeah, it's just my opinion. Look, nowhere in the fabric of the cosmos is it written in what kind of music is good, what kind is bad. It doesn't matter in the ultimate scheme of things.
Yeah.
However, I'm still allowed to say, these guys suck. Like, Maroon 5 sucks. Like, I can say that. Like, the fact that they have fans and they disagree with me, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. But neither one of us has to keep qualifying it with this annoying. Well, it's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. But calm down. It's understood. It's my opinion. Just like when someone says that they like Maroon 5, that they like Metallica.
They're liars.
I understand. Of course, it's just their opinion, and I understand it contrasts with my own. We can both coexist. If it's when you get into this really stupid tug of war with which one of us is going to win out, where I'm going to convince you that my opinion on this entirely subjective thing that's based on a personal preference somehow trumps yours.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. Ultimately, it doesn't matter, and neither one of us can win if we have different tastes.
Yeah.
However, we're both still entitled to say who we like and don't like. So I get annoyed with this whole thing where somehow somebody thinks that when two people are having a conversation about it, let's say you and I have a conversation about Metallica and the reason why we don't like them, or we're having a conversation about Nirvana, or we're having a conversation about whoever else, and wherever we fall in that line, and then somebody comes in from it's an A and B conversation, and then person C comes in and says, well, this is just like your opinions. Well, no fucking shit. First of all, C, nobody asked you to be in conversation with A and B. Number one. Number two, you added nothing to the conversation while pointing that out. It's the same thing as the guy who comes in and says, well, this really isn't important. People in Darfur are dying. People in Somalia don't have food. Yeah, I know. And that sucks. And something should be done about that. That doesn't mean I can't have a pointless conversation about music or movies or something else at some point in my life.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't see, I can do both. I can care about important stuff and I can care about trivial things.
Yeah.
And I can state my opinion without having to qualify it, apologize for it at every single turn, and let you know that it's my opinion. All right, that's a slant, an end to my rant on that thing.
End to your rant.
Yeah, I do.
On the slant.
Yeah, well, as I'm reading Ayn Rand.
But
I kid. I hate Ayn Rand.
Yeah. But yeah, like I was saying, you know,
and also
it's
look. Let's go with it. Sorry to interrupt you for a second, but so I don't lose the point. It's in my head right now. When you pointed out when I mentioned, like, do you think that the self-righteousness can it be justified? You said, like, it's not that it's justified. I'm just explaining why it would be, why it might come up. There's a big difference between explaining a phenomenon and excusing a phenomenon.
Yeah,
like you can acknowledge, like, there are musicians are in a place that's so unique to the average person that might create factors that are conducive in creating a certain attitude and behavior. And some of it is positive, some of it is negative. And pointing that out doesn't mean you're saying, like, just because you're, like, reading, like, all the work and pressure that they're under with the fans and all that might lead them to develop this sort of an attitude. Yeah. It doesn't mean you're saying that attitude is good in and of itself. It doesn't mean that they shouldn't try to combat that when they see it coming up. But you're just simply saying it's understandable. Yeah. Why it might happen. You can see how that might lead anybody to develop something like that. And a lot of times, as the average observers on the sidelines, we don't really. It's hard for us to see that because we're not in it. Like, we don't have the constant. If I had, like, constant surveillance and attention on me at all times throughout my day, where if I go into a public restroom in the mall, someone's standing outside it waiting for me to stop taking a shit so they can talk to me. That would freak me the hell out.
I don't think they'd even stand outside the stall. They would try to get in with
like
you.
If they're trying, like, to
if you're in the stall,
you're in a vulnerable spot. You're, like, sitting on a toilet. I'm like, listen, man. Like, I would freak the hell out.
Ouch.
That would freak me out like crazy. So yeah, if I was in that, I might develop it's sort of a bitchy attitude, and I might develop sort of a standoffish attitude in some ways. And I might also become protective of what I do. Yeah. Because anything you say against my work, even if you don't mean it personally, if my work is a reflection of my public persona,
yourself,
then, or the way I know the public perceives me, whether or not it's a fully me or not, it doesn't really matter. It's what the public knows me as. I would see that as a slight against me, and that would cause me to be more combative about it.
Yeah, I mean, and like I was saying, it's once you become a musician, a known musician, not just a musician, because anyone can call themselves a musician and nothing happens.
It's like anyone can call himself an artist. Anyone can be a photographer.
But once you become a musician in the sense that someone known and out there, and people see you as a public image, you can't stop as much as you want to. You say, well, I'm done with this. I want to get out of the music business. Only way to do that is completely change everything else about you. Like disappear into, wherever, and, like, move to a different country that may have never heard of you, like, Africa or, whatever. And it's just, you'd have to completely disappear. And then they'll go, oh, where it happened to him? Where'd he go? And then when you show yourself, when you show yourself again, people are like, oh, he's back at it. And I was like, no. I'm not here to do any entertainment. I'm just want to live my life. But you can't do that once you become a musician who's known. You stayed at the cashier, 9-to-5 job. You stop. You're done with it. You go to something else. So I think they have it a hell of a lot easier. Yes, it sucks because you're not doing something you like to do. You're not getting paid for the most part what you think you should be getting paid. But you look at teachers. A lot of them are just pissy, because they've been doing the same damn job with a bunch of rat-ass little bastards who don't think that they're doing anything or need to even be there, and have asshole parents who are too protective and doing their stuff, and they're not getting paid what they should be getting paid
for the work that they do and what they put up with.
But yet they're still there. They're still doing it. It's like, some teachers retire 40, 50 years or whatever the hell it is, and there's like, I'm finally done with these freaking kids.
It's funny when you listen to a teacher who's been doing it for a long period of time, like at the end of their retirement, it's sort of just like, I just want to get through this. Yeah. just the 2 more semesters, and I'm done with this. Let's wrap this up.
Yeah, and so that's the thing is, like, you do that, you have to appreciate them. But teachers, in a sense, I know it's completely 180 from what we were talking about, I guess. Mm-hmm. But talk about teachers. To some people, they're rock stars because of the fact that all the crap they put up with, and stuff like that. A lot of,
like musicians I've heard do interviews, the first thing they thank is their parents and then like their music teacher who helped them develop into being a musician and stuff like that, and so on and so forth. But yet you don't hear many of them going, I want to thank Mrs. Johnson, my science teacher, for helping me in my music.
They don't even remember them.
It's like no, it was like, oh yeah, Mr. blah 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 in the music and so on and so forth, whatever. And it's like, cool, you're appreciating a teacher, but how about the rest of them?
Right. It's also individualized because one person's favorite teacher is another person's asshole who gave you an F. And made you stay back.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah,
like
there's always
you have
that
story too.
Yeah, but there's always that. But I mean, anyways, going back to the music stuff, musicians, once you get in there, it's hard to get away from it and stuff like that. And so I do understand why some of them are pissy. When they're getting bombarded by people on the streets or whatever, or just artists in a sense,
or just attention.
Because
in general.
it's they just want to be left alone. They want to just do their thing, be creative in their own time. Not try to entertain everybody 24/7. And so you'll get those people who are like, well, I met this guy and he's an asshole. He didn't even want to sign my autograph.
He could have signed 100,000 autographs.
Yeah, he was walking down the street. He maybe just got away from a signing thing or whatever, and he's freaking cramped up, and he's like, oh, I just want to go home. And he's walking to his car or walking to whatever, the ride, and you bombard him, and he's like, screw you, I'm out of here. Yeah. It was like, they have bad days. Everybody has bad days. You can't constantly be like that. You wouldn't want to be like, bombarded. I wouldn't want to be like that. Nobody on the street, normal layman's people, would want to be bombarded 24/7. As much as you may think, oh yeah, no, it's going to be cool to be like that. No, it won't.
It would be cool. It's cool when you think about it before you have it.
Yeah.
Do you think that's also a problem that a lot of people, you don't really think about the consequences of fame that way? Like a lot of people think like, oh man, fame is going to be awesome. I'm going to have like people around me, going to be rich, I'm going to do what I love. Yeah. But then it's like the way it starts dragging on you.
Yeah.
And then and it can disappear. Like we said, like you have to keep doing it. You can't really get away from it. It can get away from you though, really quickly, and leave you out in the cold.
Yeah.
Where you're desperately trying for it not to be. So there's that effect as well.
That's the other effect is, you have those one-hit wonders and stuff like Warrant. People really don't know who Warrant is anymore. Bunch of 80s bands, and people don't really know most of them.
Oh, you're the guy from the Cherry Pie song. That's it. That's your claim.
And it's stuff like that. It's once the music industry doesn't want you, that's how you get out of it. When they're like, okay, we're done with you, you're gone. Then you're like, but I have so much more to do. I'm not done yet. Come on. And there's like, nope, sorry, bye. So your 15 minutes of fame, as they say, is up. And I'm trying to get back to the point I was going to say a while back was with Prince. I've heard so many stories that, he was an asshole. He was hard to work with, stuff like that. And there are interviews of him, like he goes to a show. He's supposed to be doing a show. It's supposed to start at a certain time. 3 hours later is when he actually starts it. He starts it when he wants. Now, that's pretty damn douchey to me. But I understand why he does it. It's like, you guys are here to see me. I'll let you see me, and I'll grace you with my presence when I'm ready. I've done my time. I've gone through all the hell. You guys are going to appreciate it when I show up. And the crazy thing is, the fans wait, and they love it. Because when he shows up, people freak the hell out. Because
people love assholes, man. Look at Donald Trump.
But the thing is, it's crazy that he was able to do that. He was like, oh no, I'm going to send out 4 bands that they've never heard of that I think I like, and I'm bringing them up. So they're going to entertain the crowd until I come out. And his band's sitting out there and they're doing their thing, playing, showing off. And then he shows up and then this just concert starts, stuff like that. So that's kind of douchey, but there wasn't many people who can actually pull that off. The fans would be like, screw you. You're not that good. I'm out of here.
Screw you, Creed. I'm leaving.
But Prince's fans would stay. They'd stay there. He'd give you a hell of a show. And the thing is, I don't think he didn't appreciate his fans. I think he appreciated every single one of the fans he had because he knows that's how he got there. But he also is like, I'm here to do my thing.
I'm gonna entertain you on my time, not on your time.
Right. Well, my personal opinion, making fans wait 3 hours is a little excessive.
It is.
My personal opinion, like, okay, get on. I got shit to do.
Yeah.
Other than wait, I would have left by then.
Yeah,
but that's in my opinion.
Yeah, that's the thing is, if it was a band that you really liked and you really wanted to see, and it's hard to whatever, I'm sure at one point you'd be like, okay, fine,
I'm not waiting. I'm not waiting.
Yeah,
it's just look. Some people might, but I'm just not that kind of person.
You say that.
I'm honest about that. Like I'm just on look. I'll watch if it's a band I still like. After waiting for 3 hours, I'll watch it on. It'll be uploaded online. I'll watch it then from the comfort of my house when I can pause and I can go take a piss when I want to. Yeah. If I'm standing there for 3 hours, especially if I'm outside waiting for you to start, even indoors, whatever. I have spent 3 hours crowded with a bunch of people. I'm not doing that.
It's not like you're sitting there doing nothing for 3 hours. You are being entertained. It's just not by.
But the people I want to be entertained by.
But yeah, you're being entertained by the people that they think you should hear, and it's up and comers and stuff like that. It's not like, oh, we're sitting there staring at the stage for 3 hours. No, you're at a Prince show, you're waiting for it to go, and you have 3 different bands showing up doing things, and it's like, oh, these guys weren't scheduled. It's just, oh, he wants you to hear them. And then he pops out, hey, how'd you like these guys? Now they're going to perform.
But if I want to go to an indie show where I'm going to see a bunch of artists that I don't know, I'll go to an indie show. Yeah. See. If I pay for a ticket to see a specific artist, I paid for a ticket to see a specific artist. Now I can see people who I'm more than happy to have them introduce me to people there that they think I might enjoy and that I might like. However, 3 hours.
Yes, but it's a whole different thing. It's a whole different thing than just, we're going to a rock show, an indie show, and they're bringing in people who's like, I don't even know who the hell this guy is in the first place. Why the hell am I going to worry about, you think these days good? Good. Well, get them to play their own show. You do your show.
Regardless.
But it's not all the time he would have them wait 3 hours. I'm not saying, you wait 3 hours and stuff. But there are times that I've heard if people are
willing to put up with that, obviously people were more power to them. That's the thing. That's what they want to do. I'm saying I'm just personally not that invested in anybody. Yeah. Like I wouldn't even wait. I wouldn't wait for my own show. With 3 hours, I'd leave before there's a. But let's get rid of a false dichotomy here. You can be a charitable, good person, and you can be a douchebag.
Oh yeah.
I personally think that you can be, because people's behavior is situational. Okay, you can be a real nice, attentive friend and a complete jerk towards people who are not, who you don't know. Like people know. That's why sometimes when someone's your friend, you're like, no, it's a great guy. People that just met them are like, wow, that person was totally standoffish.
Oh yeah.
And I think we can finish on this point then. Do you think that if fame, celebrity, becoming a big rock star, if it came with a disclaimer before you do anything, all the negative effects it might have, because everybody knows what the stories are already anyway. But if it was really lined out to you, do you think there would be some people who just walk away from it before it even starts so they don't have to put up with it? Or do you think a lot of people, because we already have the horror stories, we already know all the bad stuff. We've seen MC Hammers behind the music.
Yeah.
we know how far south they can go. Do you think that people would still say, I want to take that risk? Even if they had it completely laid out to in black and white.
Put it this way. I know what the horrors are. I personally have seen some, I've grown up through whatever, seen big artists, rise and fall, stuff like that. I've personally not been through it personally been through it, but I've seen it and stuff like that. And like I said, I've had professors and I've talked to people who've gone through it and they've told me the horror stories. It sounds fun as hell, but stressful. Personally, I think if I ever had a chance to sign on with a label or whatever and just have my fun, do the thing, I may do it. But I would know firsthand or right off the bat before anything is it's not going to last. I know the horror stories. It can go really, really, really bad, or it can go quite smoothly and excellent, But there's some people who I think if they get, they don't know anything about the music or whatever, music industry or scene in the horror stories. And I think if they get told that, and it's line for line, this is what's going to happen, or this is what, if you do this is your consequences, so on and so forth, whatever, and it's all detailed out, and they know exactly what the hell's going to happen, I think they would say, yeah, never mind, I'm not going to sign. I'd rather just entertain a few people here, get $100 a month, doing whatever, playing when I want to. That's it.
Right. Well, some percentage of people certainly would.
Yeah.
But a larger percentage would probably still take that
chance.
But I mean,
it's like, what, you're saying I can get famous and have to deal with a bunch of stuff and, whatever? It's like, yeah, but you may end up becoming a drug addict, becoming a failure of everything, or even killing yourself.
Well, that goes into a topic that we might explore a little bit later, like where do you blame the fame for your downward spiral, and where do you take how much of it is personal responsibility and someone's immaturity to cope with that?
Yeah,
like I can see both sides of that, but we'll probably hit that topic up in another segment.
Oh yeah.
For now, we'll sign off because it's just about that time, and we'll wish you guys a good day.
All right. See you guys. And by the way, Metallica sucks.
Off to Never Never Land.